Our LV Game of the Week began at Headingley to take a look at Sussex's attempts to secure the 9 points they needed at the start of play to confirm their safety in the First Division for next year. Before the start, there was a minute's applause for Brian Close, who died at the age of 84 last week. The legend from West Riding represented the county of his birth for 22 years, and his wife was on the pitch with both teams and some other very well-known Yorkshire figures from the past. Once we got underway on time, Chris Jordan gave the visiting team the ideal start by having Adam Lyth LBW for 3 in the game's 4th over. Just what Sussex needed to settle any nerves they might have had in this all-important fixture. Ed Joyce had decided on bowling first after winning the toss against a Yorkshire side, which knew that a win here would see them become the first team since the split into 2 divisions to win 11 matches in a single championship campaign. Beginning this contest on 265 points, they'd already amassed more than any other team after overhauling Sussex's 257 made back in 2003. So the home team still had plenty to play for as Alex Lees and Gary Balance began to ease into their innings in putting on 52 runs for the second wicket. This was, of course, Yorkshire's first game back at their home ground since they lifted the trophy a couple of weeks ago at Lord's, so there was a decent crowd in at Leeds. Lees has made plenty of starts this summer without often going too big, and he'd got to 29 on this occasion when he was trapped in front by Lewis Hatchett, with a total on 55 for 2. Every wicket was of course greeted with joy for the visitors, who recently drew it home to the champions in a high-scoring contest in Hove. The loss of Lees brought to the crease Andrew Gale, a man who helped his side defeat Hampshire last time out with an exceptional 100, and the Yorkshire skipper maintained his fine recent form as he was soon putting bat to ball to very good effect with some lovely shots. Gale has had a season he can be very proud of, both with the bat, especially of late, and for the way he's once again led his talented team. Balance has had a different kind of summer. Dropped by England and missing out on the Test series in the UAE. He then had a point to prove, and he was looking good in helping his side to a score of 106 for 2 by the time the lunch break arrived. Given the early start at this time of year, Yorkshire would have been pretty pleased with the way they'd started this match. But they were pegged back after the restart. Gale hadn't added to his lunchtime 31 when he chopped one from Steve McGoffin back onto his stumps. Sussex with the first of the bonus points they needed to ensure First Division survival this summer. Then, shock of shocks, as the best batsman in red ball cricket this season, Johnny Bairstow, was out for just a single. McGoffin delivering a special spell, finding the inside edge of his bat with an in-swinger, as the batsman's average dropped into double figures. It still stands at 97, so he shouldn't have been too worried. Yorkshire, though, were now on 108 for 4, and so Balance's innings had suddenly become a more important one for his record-chasing team. A single off Jordan had him at his half-century off 114 deliveries, an innings containing 7 fours. He'd also struck 100 when these two sides met at the end of last month. This time, however, he'd added just 5 more runs to his tally when, after a short break because of rain, the former England man cut Chris Liddle straight to Joyce. The wicket coming with Yorkshire now on 140 for 5, and the visitors enjoying a good spell to encourage them further. Adil Rashid has a big month or two ahead of him, and he and Jack Leaning saw their side through until tea and until a break for rain shortly thereafter. Back on at 4:30, the all-rounder began to dominate the scoring in a 6-wicket partnership with Leaning, who was quite happy to watch Rashid do his business from the other end. Leaning's near 2-hour vigil was ended on 36 as he edged Hatchett to Jordan, a man who drops very little in the slip cordon. That gave Sussex a second bowling bonus point, and they were still very much in touch with their opponents at this stage in a game they really don't want to lose. Rashid remained and went to his 50 off his 80th delivery with his 7th 4. Out of red ball cricket for a while with the England one-day team, the all-rounder showed off his value to this team once again. Yet again, the champions were finding someone to score their runs lower down the order if those above had failed to produce the goods. But this time, Rashid was soon on his way. On 53, he offered little, having a rare run in the championship team, his second wicket of the day, to reduce the home team to 238 for 7, with 3 overs to go before the second new ball was due. That will come on the second morning, as there was only one more over left on this day, one reduced to 78 overs in total.
Look, we've done pretty well up there today. Obviously, we won the toss and bowled on a wicket that we thought would have a fair bit in it, and it did with the new ball early. So, they had a couple of good partnerships in the middle, but to get, especially that last wicket there, the 7th wicket, that was a good thing for us at the end of the day. So we'll regroup overnight and come back second new ball's due and try and wrap up this innings.
Yeah, I mean it's always nice to get runs, after a bit of disappointment over the last few weeks, but more importantly, it's just about getting a bit of my own form back and getting a good start to this game.
So there is all still to play for as we enter day 2 with Yorkshire on 241 for 7. Sussex will hope that the second new ball will do the business for them before they try to bat themselves to safety.